Remember when we used to own products? Now it's the companies owning us. This is not a new phenomenon. It feels like in the past 20 years, ownership has slowly crept away from us. Whether that's digital media and media being streamed, we've become used to paying subscriptions for services and media. But more and more, we're starting to see that subscription model creep into hardware, whether it's cars, electronics, and even refrigerators. It feels like more and more companies seem to implement ways to block us using our own devices that we purchase by putting it behind a paywall. Now, there are some crazy examples that I've picked out today, but globally, I'm making this video to let people know that you can fight for these consumer rights, and there are resources out there for you to understand what's going on with your products that don't work. I've been using the Consumer Wiki from the FULU organization to really go through some specific examples, but there's also a new example that just popped up this week that I had to talk about. Now, the first example a lot of people have been talking about is the Samsung refrigerators. Now, this is specific to the United States. If you bought a Samsung refrigerator with a smart screen on the front of the device, you'll have noticed some updates have passed in September. On September 16th, Samsung implemented an advertisement screen that will appear when the refrigerator is idle. Now, when people purchase their device, this was not mentioned. You remember when Amazon launched the Kindle versions, and it probably still has the ad version versus the non-ad version. Well, Samsung did not do this. Essentially, all of them become ad versions. This to me is completely insane and violates any consumer rights I could think of, but nobody's going after this company. Consumer rights are very different from country to country and continent to continent, of course. It feels like the US is a little bit further behind than Europe because some of these practices have not been implemented in Europe, but some of them have. One of them that has been implemented is the Nintendo Switch 2 game cards. Now, when the Switch 2 was announced, people were very excited for the updates, but not so excited about the game card. Now, this game card essentially is a waste of space. It essentially just inserts into your device and allows you to have a code to download the game. So it doesn't make much of a difference whether you're downloading it directly from the Nintendo store or using this game card. More importantly, you can't resell the games. So the used market is dead for these games. And if you decide to upload any third-party applications and try to share games with your device, Nintendo can brick the device and renders it completely useless. You won't be able to do anything on it, and if you resell it, you have the chance of buying a used brick device and you can't unbrick it. So essentially, Nintendo is making a huge e-waste problem just to control the used market. Now, this last example I saw this week and it made me laugh, almost cry. Now, if you haven't heard about this, this is a Kohler Dekoda, and essentially it's a poop scan camera. Now, the camera itself is very expensive. It's $599. But on their website, it notes you cannot use this device without signing up for their membership program. So you have to pay to scan your poop, and the lowest price is $6.99 per month or $70 per year. But if you want to scan all the poop of your family, you're going to have to pay a little bit more. That will knock the price up to $12.99 a month or $130 a year. Now, that's an additional cost to the product you've already purchased. So, for example, if somebody bought you this as a gift for the holidays, you won't be able to use it unless you sign up for that membership. Imagine gifting something so beautiful as a poop scanner and you can't even use it until you sign up for that subscription. What if you don't have the money for the subscription? What do you tell that person who bought you the gift? Thanks for locking me into another subscription? And another thing you have to think on the side of these very niche items, how long will they be supported? And when they're no longer supported, will you be able to use it? Will you be able to modify it? Chances are no. A lot of these devices are not only useless when the companies decide to stop supporting them, you can't repair them, you can't modify them, and they essentially just become a bunch of e-waste. This is crazy to me, and the crazier part is it's illegal to modify most of these devices. In the US, you can face up to 3 to 5 years in a federal prison for modifying your device. But these companies could lock you into these memberships, and it's not illegal. For me, that's crazy. Consumers essentially have no rights. Where have we come in the world? Why do companies own us rather than us owning our products? It feels like ownership is the new Atlantis. It used to exist. Did it really exist? Where is it? What was it? We don't really have it anymore. And the more and more we go into the future, the crazier the subscription model is getting, of course. But the fact that companies are able to lock features behind paywalls on hardware is just another level of crazy. There are so many examples of this, even in the car industry, horsepower being locked behind paywalls, specific light features in cars, turning on the lights automatically, for example, or changing the colors inside the LEDs of your car. These are all locked behind paywalls and subscription models for car manufacturers. These microtransactions, these subscription models are just ways for companies to get more money out of the consumers and out of the consumers who already purchased their product on top of it. This is insane to me, and I think we need to make more laws protecting consumers, and consumers need to inform each other that this is not all right. If you want to do something about this, I'm going to leave the link down below for the FULU organization so you can browse the wiki, especially if you have a device that is concerned. You can also add devices if you notice a device in your life that's no longer working or supported and cannot be repaired, for example. The more we inform and allow each other to build this database, the more power we have to change the consumer rights. Also, I'm going to link down below the new FULU Bounty page, which is an amazing initiative that allows people to create workarounds for specific issues for these no longer supported products and receive a monetary prize for being able to do this. I know for myself going into the future, I'm always going to question how long will something be supported? Will it have advertisements? Is there subscription? If any of those answers are usually yes, there's a subscription, no, there's no guarantee to repair this item, I'm not going to buy it. If I can't replace the battery, at least it's really not worth it. And I think the more we have intention on how we use tech, how we buy tech, and how we gift tech to people, keep in mind, don't give people something that needs a subscription to work, because that's a terrible gift. With that being said, I would like to thank the members of this channel. Without you, this would not be possible. And I'd like to thank all of you for watching, and see you soon.